Hey there, this is Gaurav back again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to learn about a very interesting concept, that is SSO. So without wasting any further time, let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so today we'll learn about a very interesting topic called SSO. Basically in this video, I'll talk about the topics like what is SSO, why do you need it, what are the advantages that it has, how it works with a complete flow diagram, and we will see what is SAML. We will learn all these things in a very fun way with animations. So requesting you all to watch the video till the end. So as we are going to learn all these things in details, so if I'll say everything in a single video, then my video will go too long. So that is why I have divided this video into two parts, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we will see what is SSO and why do you need SSO. And in part 2, we will see what are the advantages that it has, how SSO works with a complete flow diagram. So that is what we will learn in details. We will also see what are the different SSO based authentication flow are there. And then we will learn what is SAML. So this video will be all about part 1. And in the next video, we will see about part 2. And at the end of this video, I can guarantee that you will get enough motivation in order to start learning SSO. And everything we will learn with animations in a fun way. Now let's see. Well, so I can guarantee that we all are using SSO either knowingly or unknowingly. How? We will see within a few minutes. But those who are from IT background or computer science background, they might have heard the term SSO. Anyway, in this video, we will learn about SSO in details. So while learning any topic, we should first try to predict its meaning from its name, or I can say full name. Sometime it may happen that we may get some clue, right? So SSO here is a short form, right? It stands for Single Sign-On. Now let's try to predict its meaning from its full name, that is from Single Sign-On. So let me divide it into two parts, Single and Sign-On. So single means we all know, right? Here you can consider it as one time. But one time what? Let's see. And sign-on means it is same like sign in or log in to some applications, just to provide your credential to that applications, just to authenticate yourself, just to access some content or get some services from that applications. Okay. So if I sum it off, then what I can get? It means one time sign on to some applications. Obviously it should be an application, right? Applications or some website, whatever. So we cannot predict more than that, right? So it's my request to you, just keep this word in your mind so that when you learn about SSO in details, you can relate with it. So what we all are doing basically, and we all are doing it almost for all the time. So we are the user, right? Like you and me, we all are the user. You can consider it as client as well, like from application point of view. So we all are using or accessing multiple applications like WebEx, Microsoft Teams, Salesforce, and there are many more. So I can say like multiple users are accessing multiple applications, right? Now, you cannot access or use any application directly, right? There are some process that you have to follow. Now to understand this process, let's be very specific. So here I am considering a single user is trying to access multiple applications. Yes, here I am considering multiple applications because the moment I will consider multiple applications, then only I can show you the power or the advantage of SSO. If an user is accessing a single application only, then there is no point of having SSO, or I cannot show you the power or advantage of SSO. And ideally we all are accessing multiple applications, right? Okay, now let's see. Okay, so now let's understand the process, like how an user can access an application. So here is my one more request. Just consider this user as you. I know it looks a bit weird and you are not. Still, if you can consider it as you, then you can feel the power of SSO. And you can understand the problem that we have without SSO. Okay, so let's say you want to access some application, okay? So here is my one more assumption that I am taking. I am assuming that you have already registered your account in these applications like in Office 365. Like your profile information is there in Office 365. So that is what I am assuming for now. So here in this process, first you will send a request to that application, like you want to access it, right? So then it will ask, like that application will ask for credential from you. Okay. Now credential can be like a username, password, or email ID password, anything it can be. I'm not going to comment on that. So you have to provide your credential, like you have to send your credential. So after that, once it is done, then it need to be verified, like it need to be checked whether whatever the information that you have passed, whether it is matching with the data that you have provided at the time of registering or not, right? So there is something called database for this application where all the master data, like your profile information, like your username, password, everything is stored. Like, so first it will fetch the data from this database, and then it will try to verify your credential, whatever you have passed. Then it will check the data that you have passed with credential with the data that is already there in database, right? So first it will check that. See if it is verified, like if everything is matching, then you are good to go. Then you can say like you are successfully authenticated yourself in that applications, right? Now based on the authorization whatever you have, you can now start accessing this application, right? Or I can say session can start. So this is a very basic process. Okay, this is how we can access any applications, right? We can start using any applications. Now if you have one more application, let's say it's Microsoft Teams. Okay. The same way, first it will ask for the credential and you have to pass that. Again, I'm assuming that you have already registered your account on that application. Okay, so first you have to pass your credential to that application, and then it will check the data which is there in database. Now if it is matching, like if everything is fine, then you are good to go. Then you are an authenticate user and you are successfully authenticated to that application, and a session can start. Okay, now if you have one more application, then the same thing will happen here. So basically I'm not saying anything new, right? So whatever I'm saying, it's very basic thing, and I know like you all know about it, right? So this is how we can start using any application, or you can start accessing any application. Now let's move one step deeper in this process. Okay, so far we have discussed about only 3 applications, right? Now with this process still it is acceptable. Now what if you want to access more number of applications than that? Like if you want to access say application 4, application 5, application 6, etc. And there are many more. Now in that case, if you follow the same approach for all the applications, then there would be some problem. So now can you feel the problem? Yes? No? So that is where earlier I requested you to consider this user as you. Okay, now let's look at all those problems with this current approach. Here it is. So the first problem would be, it takes time and reduces the speed. Means for all the applications you have to provide your credential, right? And you have to remember the password, you have to provide your username, password for all the applications if you follow the same process for all the applications. So that is why it takes time, and because it takes time, it reduces the speed as well. So that is the first problem. Now let's see the second problem. Yeah, so this is the problem. I think we all can relate with it. So it is very difficult to remember the password and username for all the applications. So it might happen that for all the application you may have different password. So really it is very difficult to remember the password and username, right? So if I consider me as an user, I can feel it. So this is the second problem. Now let's look at the third problem. Now because you have to remember the password, username, it takes time, it reduces the speed. Because of all these things, it makes you feel irritated. Now sometimes it may happen that you want to access an application, it beats urgent, but as you cannot remember the password, you cannot do this, right? Because you have to provide a right credential. So that is what makes you feel irritated. Okay. Now let's look at the fourth problem. Yes, it increases the help desk workload. Now let's understand what does it mean. Now sometimes if you cannot remember the password, then there is an option called forgot password, right? I think we all have done this, right? Now if you click on this, it will ask for either mobile number or email ID or something else. And then with that, you can set a new password, right? So you have to go through a process, right? So there is a team who are taking care of this entire process, right? So I can say like it increases the workload of the team. Now let's look at the last point, and it is poor security habit. Now let's understand it, and we all are doing it. So because of this process or approach, we all are adopting a very dangerous security habit. Like sometimes we are using very weak password, sometimes we are using same password for different applications, sometimes we are writing the password either in notebook or in mobile in other platform, sometimes we are sharing it, sometimes we are reusing our password. So these all are the very dangerous habit one can have. Okay, so because of this process, we all are adopting this kind of very dangerous security habit. So I hope you all can feel the problems, right, with this approach. So once we have some problem, there should be some solution. Yes, so as a solution, there is something called SSO will come into the picture. So I can say like, why do we need SSO? This part is now clear to everyone, right? So because we all are facing this kind of problems and we need some solution, and as a solution, we do need SSO. Okay, now finally let's see what is SSO. Now let's see what is SSO. Here we go. SSO or single sign-on is an authentication scheme that enables user to securely authenticate with multiple applications and websites by logging in only once with just one set of credentials like username and password. So actually SSO means it's an authentication scheme. Because of that, user can access or securely authenticate with multiple applications or website, but they have to log in only once. Yes, they have to log in only once. Means in the previous approach, if they want to access to 4 applications, then they have to log in for 4 times. But here, no matter how many applications they want to access, but they have to log in only once. Okay, so somehow I have given you the definition of SSO. Like what is SSO? Now it is clear to everyone, right? But we all have one doubt, and that is logging in only once. So what does it mean? We have understood like we have to log in only once to access multiple applications, but where should I log in and how we can log in? So this part is not clear, right? So this part will be cleared when we will see like how SSO authentication flow works, like how SSO works. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video, that is in part 2, we will discuss about SSO authentication flow in details. We will see how SSO works. We will see what are the entities that it has and how can they interact to each other. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video and you also got enough motivation in order to start learning SSO in details. Now if you have any doubt, any queries in this video, please let me know by giving a comment in the comment section. I'll surely give you a reply on that. Now if you found this video as informative, you can share it with your friends. For more videos, you can follow my channel. So thanks for watching, take care, tata, bye bye.